Hello, my dear grandchildren. Now that it's almost Christmas time, I thought I'd read you a Christmas story, an Alfie Christmas story. This one is called Alfie's Christmas. There's Alfie. Looks like he's in his jammies and he's waiting for Christmas, I guess. Let's read what the story's about. Alfie's busy there, isn't he? Is he doing some coloring? Would you like to do coloring? He's doing some coloring and Annie Rose is watching him. It says, soon it would be Christmas time. Alfie's little sister, Annie Rose, was too little to understand about Christmas, but Alfie was thinking about it a lot. He was making decorations and cards to send to friends. So he's made a little Christmas tree. And I believe those are his cards that he's making for his friends. And I'm not sure what that is. Maybe he's covered the outside of that with some pretty paper. It's like a little can or something. And then I noticed at the top here, he's made some paper chain rings. So you can make paper chains. A grown-up can help you figure out how to do that. You just have to cut the paper into strips and then you use a little bit of glue. And you can make these rings and then turn the rings into chains. And you can hang them up. And they're all bright and colorful. That would be a nice decoration. Ask a grown-up and see if you could try that. That one's a fun one to do. Let's see what else. So many children here, I can't get them all in. Let's see, let's just look at the children for a minute. Can you tell what they're doing? Any guesses? There's a lovely picture up here at the top of the manger where Jesus was born. See, they have some animals and an angel and the star, Joseph and Mary and the baby Jesus. And these are the shepherds that came to worship and the wise men. Let's read what it says. He had a calendar to help him count off the days. Oh, that's a very good idea, to count off the days until Christmas. It had a picture of baby Jesus and Mary and Joseph and the shepherds and the angel and the animals and the three kings bringing presents and the star shining above. They sang songs about it at nursery school. So Alfie and his friends are singing Christmas songs. Christmas is a wonderful time to sing together. And here, busy kitchen. All kinds of things going on here. Alfie was helping with the cooking. He made some delicious biscuits in the shape of Christmas trees. Now we would call them cookies. In England, where Alfie lives, they're called biscuits. But a crunchy cookie in England is a biscuit. We would call it a cookie. Have you ever made cookies that are in the shape of something? A lot of people like to do that at Christmas time. Alfie and his dad are enjoying that, aren't they? Baking cookies. Looks like the kitty cat wants some. Oh, and then what are they doing here? They choosing their Christmas tree. Some people buy a tree like that, where they buy a new one every year. And some people have one that they keep in a box. That's just a pretend tree, but it can look very beautiful. What kind of tree does your family have for Christmas? All the family went to the market to choose a real Christmas tree. It's got to be just the right size, said Mum. Not too big and not too small. They found one with beautiful spreading branches. They can put a lot of decorations on that, can't they? See Annie Rose and Dad and Mom and Alfie, and there's the man who's selling them the Christmas tree. It's a brightly colored market, isn't it? There we go. They brought the tree home. Alfie helped Dad to carry it into the living room. It smelled lovely. Then Dad fetched the big box of decorations from the attic. Usually families keep a box of Christmas decorations, or maybe more than one box of Christmas decorations, and it's fun to spend some time decorating the house and decorating the tree so everything looks pretty for Christmas. Oh, look what a beautiful job they did. They spent quite a lot of time arranging them on the tree. When they had finished, they switched on the fairy lights and left the curtains open so that all the people passing by could see it. To wish everyone a happy Christmas, said Mum. That looks like a very beautiful tree, doesn't it? With a star on top and so many lights. Do you have a Christmas tree? What's this about? Looks like they're going and looking in stores. Alfie and Dad set out on a special secret shopping expedition. To buy Alfie's present for Mum. They spent a long time looking. See them in the stores talking to the people that sell things and looking at what there is. Dad thought that some nice smelling stuff to put in the bath would be good. But in the end, Alfie chose a beautiful necklace of blue beads. Do you think that was a good idea? Will his mom like that? A beautiful necklace of blue beads. I bet she will. Now they're wrapping. Alfie helped Dad wrap up parcels. As well as Mum's present, there was one for Great-Grandma Hillary and one for Maureen McNally, who lived across the street and sometimes did babysitting, and Grandma, and quite a lot of other people too. Annie Rose liked playing with the shiny wrapping paper. Looks like maybe the kitty likes playing with the wrapping too. Does Jessie the cat like to play with the wrapping? And Alfie's helping. And he and Dad are working with the paper and the tape and the ribbons. Oh, look at all the presents they've already wrapped. Good job, guys. Those will make wonderful surprises on Christmas morning, won't they? Now the house was full of secrets and packages that you were not allowed to look inside. Do you see where the secrets in the packages are? There's some up in the closet, isn't there? The children are looking behind the curtain and under the bed. There was one thing which was carefully hidden, and that was Alfie's present for Dad. It was a very special flower pot, which Alfie had decorated at nursery school. In it was a tiny green shoot, which was pushing up through the earth, and soon it would turn into a beautiful spring flower. And that was a very thoughtful present that Alfie got for his dad, wasn't it? All right, now what? Mum helped Alfie to make a list of all the presents he wanted. It was quite a long list. Then she helped him write a letter to Father Christmas. We would say Santa Claus. In England, they say Father Christmas. Alfie drew a picture of himself to go with it, and they put their address at the top. Then they put it in an envelope with "To Father Christmas" written on it, and Mum helped Alfie post it in the pillar box at the end of their street. "Will he get it all right?" Alfie wanted to know. "Sure to," said Mum. Santa gets lots of letters at Christmas time, doesn't he? Have you ever been to visit Santa? Some children do go to visit Santa. What's this about? A little glare on the page, sorry. Let me see all of the people who are singing. I'll read the page and then we'll look at all the pictures. As it began to get dark, some carol singers came to their street, and Mum and Alfie stepped outside to join in. See, they're here to sing Christmas songs. Isn't that a nice idea? They're singing, and Alfie and Mom went out to listen and to sing with them. I think that's lovely. Alfie put a little plate of snacks on the hearthrug for Father Christmas in case he felt hungry. He was worried that their fireplace wasn't big enough for Father Christmas and his sack of presents to get through, but Mum said she was sure he'd manage somehow. At bedtime, Alfie hung up his stocking at the end of his bed. Annie Rose had hers on the chair near her cot. Alfie's oldest, most favorite toy, Flumbo, had a little stocking of his own. See those red stockings? Flumbo had a stocking, Alfie had a stocking, and Annie Rose had a stocking. And they're hoping that Santa or Father Christmas will put some goodies in there for them. After Mum and Dad had tucked them up, Alfie lay awake for a long time because he was so excited. But at last, he fell asleep. When he woke up, he knew it wasn't morning. It was the middle of the night. He could hear someone moving about in the room. Perhaps it was Father Christmas. Alfie knew that he never left presents until all children were fast asleep. So he screwed up his eyes tight and hid under the duvet. Then he heard something dropping onto the floor. He sat up and peered into the darkness. He could see that his stocking was bulging with surprises, but he knew it was not time to open them yet. Then he saw Annie Rose wide awake. She had managed to get out of her cot and was sitting in the middle of the floor, opening all her presents, one by one. Oh, Annie Rose, it's the middle of the night, silly girl. That's what he heard falling to the floor, didn't he? Something dropped onto the floor, it said. That was Annie Rose getting out of bed in the middle of the night. Oh my. Alfie called out, and Mum came running. It took a long time before they all managed to settle down to sleep again. Annie Rose wanted to keep on looking at her presents, didn't she? She didn't want to go back to bed. But Alfie knew it was time to go back to bed. Not time to get up yet, Annie Rose. The next time Alfie woke up, everything was quiet, and he knew that Christmas morning had come at last. Annie Rose was still asleep. Alfie opened his stocking presents, one by one. He was glad that he had waited till morning to unwrap them. There were some lovely things in there. In Flumbo's stocking was a Father Christmas hat, a car, some sweets, and a tiny notebook and pencil. Can you see any of the things Alfie got in his stocking? I see an airplane and a ball, a dinosaur and a car. Looks like some candies, some crayons or pencils. Is that a flashlight? That might be a flashlight. Those look like nice things to play with, don't they? Alfie looks pleased. Oh boy, look at Alfie now. What's he got there? Now Christmas Day had really begun. Alfie ran downstairs to look at the tree, and there, propped up against it, was a scooter. It was exactly what he wanted. There was a smart helmet to go with it. You see his helmet? Oh, that was exactly what Alfie wanted. There's their tree. Annie Rose, oh, doesn't she look pretty? Annie Rose had a fairy dress with wings. Mum and Dad were very pleased with the presents Alfie gave them. See, Dad has his pot and Mom has her beads. Mum put on her blue beads straight away, and Dad put his plant pot on the windowsill where it would get plenty of sunshine. You know, it makes you feel very good when you can give presents to people that you love. That's a fun thing to learn to do. People enjoy them and you feel good. It makes you feel good all over just to do that. Let's see what we got going on here. Soon after breakfast, the McNally family from across the street dropped by to wish them all a happy Christmas. Later, and so this is the McNally family, right? So there's Mr. McNally and Maureen and Mrs. McNally, and they're saying, Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. Later, oh, here we go. Look at this. Later, Grandma arrived with Great Uncle Will. So there's Grandma, and there's Great Uncle Will, this man here. He was her brother, and he had come on a visit all the way from his home in Australia. Do you remember hearing about Great Uncle Will? He was the naughty little boy who who threw his shorts into the cow field because he didn't want to go to school. Remember? But now he's not a little boy anymore, is he? He's Alfie's grandmother's brother. When they were little, they were small children. They were brother and sister, just like Alfie and Annie Rose are brother and sister. And brothers and sisters stay brothers and sisters all their lives. So now, even though they're older, they're still brother and sister. And he came to visit, Alfie's great uncle Will came to visit his grandma all the way from Australia. "I'm hoping for snow and lots of it," he said. There was no snow, but the sun had come out. Mom and Grandma set out for church. They took some cakes and sandwiches and some of and some of Alfie's special biscuits to share with people who had no home to go to. That's always thoughtful, isn't it? While they were out, Alfie and Annie Rose played with their new toys while Great Uncle Will helped Dad to get the Christmas dinner ready. Are they maybe making a turkey, do you think? A lot of people have turkey for Christmas dinner, or a ham. I don't know what they've got made. I'm thinking it's a turkey. The children are playing with their toys. Jessie certainly wants to have some of the food. Then they all sat down to eat together. So there's Annie Rose. Jessie's got her food down on the floor there. There's their food. And Great Uncle Will, and Mom, and Dad, and Alfie, and Grandma. You can see the tree in the back. They're enjoying that meal together, aren't they? Hard to get everybody in the picture. Everybody's there. I think that's everybody. A nice full table, isn't it? That's a little bit of a pouty face. What do you think? Afterwards, Annie Rose was tired and cross, and she needed a rest. Special days can be hard on babies sometimes. They're different than regular days, and they get all excited, and sometimes it makes them get a little grumpy, and they just need to lie down and take a rest. There was another small problem. Let's see what the problem is. When Alfie and Dad discovered that the remote control of Alfie's new space buggy had no battery. It's got no battery, so he can't make it drive. See, he's holding the remote control in his hand, but he can't drive it because it doesn't have a battery. "I'll have to see if I can find one," said Dad. Then Great Uncle Will suggested that perhaps meanwhile he and Alfie might go out and test Alfie's new scooter. It's always a good idea to get outside, isn't it? That can make you feel a lot better, even if it's kind of cold. Get a little fresh air. Everybody feels better. I think Alfie was getting a little grumpy too, wasn't he? So going outside, that's going to make him feel a lot better. He's already smiling. Oh, look how fast Alfie's going. When Alfie sped off along the pavement, Great Uncle Will had to run very fast to keep up. See the people watching. Uncle Will is running. He's doing a pretty good job keeping up with Alfie. Alfie looks like he's pretty speedy on that scooter, isn't he? On the way home, I'm going to back this up a little bit so you can see, and then I'll read it and then we'll look a little closer at the pictures. On the way home, he told Alfie that in Australia, right now, it was summertime and people were swimming in the sea and having barbecues on the beach. He said that there were parrots flying about and how once he had seen a koala sitting at the top of a gum tree near his backyard. So he's telling Alfie all about Australia. See the beach? When we have Christmas, people who live in the southern hemisphere, well, they have Christmas too, but we have winter. We have Christmas in winter. And in the southern hemisphere, it's summer at Christmas time. So in Australia or in South America, in those places, they celebrate Christmas by going for a swim or having a picnic, going to the beach. So there's the beach, there's the parrots he was talking about, and there's the koala. That animal's called a koala. This is a very big picture. Again, I'll read the words and then we'll look at all the picture. As they walked home, they could see lit Christmas trees shining out of all the windows, and neighbors like the McNallys and the Santos family with their friends and relations, enjoying themselves, eating nice things and watching television together. So this is Alfie's neighborhood. And he's looking in all the windows. He's seeing all of the Christmas trees. People saying hello, saying Merry Christmas, right? Visiting with friends or family. It's just a cheerful time, isn't it? Looks like Great Uncle Will is helping Alfie get the stroller back, or the stroller, I didn't mean that, the scooter back home. Right, they're walking back home, bringing his scooter. It's almost dark. There they are. Looks like Annie Rose is cheerful again. See now, she's smiling. She must have had her rest. When they got home, they found Dad and Grandma on the front doorstep with Annie Rose. She had woken up in a good mood and was waving her fairy wand. Dad had found a new battery. I like Christmas, don't you, Great Uncle Will? Said Alfie. You bet, said Great Uncle Will. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story. Merry Christmas. I love you.